Hey y'all, it's Michael, and the next short story collection review that I'm going to be doing is The Street of Crocodiles and Other Stories by Bruno Schulz, and this is translated by Selena Vinishqua. Okay, I bought this book at Acapella bookstore in Atlanta when I went to go up there for MomoCon. I just chose this because the front was really cool, and I was like, I'm in a classical type of mood right now to read some short stories. There is a lot in here. I'm looking at it now. There's a lot. Like there's a lot of short stories in here. So you're gonna see me bundle a lot of these together, just because a lot of these are like quick and like they seem like they're gonna go really fast. Like the list is long. So that's what I'm gonna do. After each one, I'll bundle it together and let y'all know what I think about it. And at the end, I'll do a collective overall thoughts. So yeah, let's go. Okay, I don't usually make an impression on like the first page, but yeah, this writing style. Oh wow. Wow. Wow, the writing style, y'all. I finished the first short story in here, so come to find out, there's actually 5 short stories in here. It's just that the last 3 are incredibly short, but the first and the second one are broken up into like even mini stories, I guess you would say. I'm gonna talk about them in longer terms and whatnot. But the first one is the self-titled short story, is The Street of Crocodiles. Now, as you saw in that previous clip, my first reaction to it was just like, wow, the writing style is just so it's really good. I'm about to gush because this is incredible. So one thing that I always enjoy about the Penguin Classics and whatnot is like the introduction and whatnot, the foreword in the beginning, is because I do learn a lot, like especially going into these books blind a lot of the times. Like the history of the books and the author itself, I don't know that much about. So it was really great learning that in the beginning. Impressive. So this is really weird, bizarre, strange type of thing. So this is about an unnamed narrator. It's a little boy. And they're in this city. I guess you could say main character is this character named Adela. She's kind of like a witch also, but she's like the help. It's not clear for me anyways exactly what she is. And then the father. So this is just so weird. It's broken up into these little sections. Translation is great because I feel as though, according to the foreword and how like Schulz wrote the original story, the writing style, it has a very Latin base, and so here it's like so descriptive. It's so rich. It's so lush in the descriptions that it's like almost so magical reading it. And the way that things are described, looking through this world of like this pure, oh my god, I'm going to say it, but it's imaginative. It's so imaginative. There are parts in here that are like so memorable. There's just one story in here that really caught my eye called Cockroaches. It has this like Kafka sense to it as the father turns into a cockroach. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. And one of the short story is Taylor's Dummies, subbed into 3 other short stories. 3 other like stories, and it's about the father. The father's like very a mysterious figure. They call it, he's basically like almost like a god, like a creator. There's this part of it here where he starts to make like these dummies, but like humans. Oh, it was so cool. It was so cool. Birds was really cool. Like the way that the description of birds, and there is one in here that's really cool. Cinnamon Shops and The Street of Crocodiles, like it's so good too. And Night of the Great Season, oh my god, that was okay. The comment is okay. Basically, the whole thing is really good. Night of the Great Season is kind of like this event festival, but then the way that it describes, like, it sounded like they were describing fireworks, but then it also seemed like it has a description of the birds. It sounds like as though I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It was just so magical and fantastical. Like y'all, it was so good. Elation and happiness and wonderment are the 3 adjectives I would describe reading that first short story. So let me talk about the next major short story on here. It's called Sanatorium Under the Signs of the Hourglass. This is kind of a continuation of the previous The Street of Crocodiles. Our main character, Joseph, is visiting his father um, in a sanatorium similar to the Street of the Crocodiles. This is very strange, very bizarre, very magical. I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. First off, there are actual pictures in this one. It's really cool. I don't know if they have any significant like meaning and whatnot, but I thought it was really cool that there are actual pictures in this one. Just like brought a little sense of like almost just like fun to it, if anything. So there's that. This one is called Spring. Now, I also realized on this one that he talks a lot about time. Well, hence the word of the hourglass, and these this concept of seasons, because once again, similar to the Street of the Crocodiles, here he really emphasizes the passage of time and like time stopping and like what does that mean exactly. So much about like spring, autumn, and like, oh my god, there's this again beautiful sentences. Oh my gosh, the description of like how flowers bloom during spring, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And then there's also this like underlining double entendre of like the book and the reader. It, for me anyways, I was like, is he breaking the fourth wall? Because there are moments where he seems like he's addressing how I'm reading it. And he gets to the sanatorium. I was like, whoa, this is, it was so cool because it was strange and fantastical, and there were parts in there where it seemed very like creepy because of like what the doctors were doing. I was like, oh, this is, it's so cool. It's just, it's beautiful writing. There are some weird things about this, like it was story structural wise. There's a part in like a really small part in here about black people, which it was so, I was like, what it was awkward. And then here we really emphasize on his love interest. While it was love, and there were beautiful sentences and beautiful like paragraphs of him describing him describing her and like the meaning behind love and this like infatuation with her. But it borderline. Now I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying borderline. Like it's right over there. It's right over there. It seemed very almost stalkerish and very not good. Not good. And there's also this the ending to this was very rushed in my opinion. It was weird. It was a really weird because the last two short stories in this one is well, two semi micro short stories, I don't know. Loneliness and Father's Last Escape. It's obvious what happens just by reading that sentence, but it was really weird because it felt so rushed. I thought it was like a huge character, but it was just like kind of glanced upon, and we don't. It was. I felt it was very rushed, but that didn't deter me from enjoying it because I thought it was so good. It was. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm really loving it, and the pictures were really fun, and it was just so cool. So I finished the last like little micro stories. There's like 3 of them at the end of this. They're not, they don't really have like anything to add to the overall collection. They're just very short. It's called The Republic of Dreams, Autumn, and Fatherland. Yeah, they were beautifully written slash translated. If anything, overall, y'all, this was fantastic. I loved it. This is definitely one of my favorite short story collections that I had a chance to read this year. It was amazing. First off, I love the writing style, and I don't know if that's the cause of the translator or it just has this rhythm to it, but it is just so beautiful. Things are described, it has this really, like, I know I kept using the word magical, but it really does. It's like this weird bizarre way of how this narrator, the protagonist of both collections, essentially. I'm meaning the name too, and the main two, anyways. How this person views the world in this almost like just wonderment and this amazement of just the world around them. It's really is beautiful. Now, since there's essentially only 2 main short stories, and then there's like those 3 micro short stories, and then all those micro short stories within the 2 short stories, I think both of them are great. I personally enjoyed. First off, I really did enjoy at the sanatorium under the signs of the hourglass. I really loved the drawings. I thought they were fantastic. It was so cool. I thought the Street of Crocodiles was really great, and also I do have to mention both of these. I didn't mention it when I was talking about the sanatorium one, but the references to the metamorphosis is really strong in both short stories. This essence of like growing up, because if especially if you, since I read this with the Street of Crocodiles and then the sanatorium, you really get the sense of time and the flow, especially because one of my favorite things in literature is like especially the relationship between like father and son relationship stories. I love those, and I thought this was really cool because while it has like fantastical elements, like especially there's this part in here about like the father be like creating things like creating humans, but there's still there's still this down to earth essence about it, and I felt as though I got that a lot from the protagonist. I really liked it. Now I do have to put a caveat to this. I could tell this won't be for every reader. I'm gonna let y'all know now, it's not for every reader. I personally enjoyed it. I think it's the writing style that really got to me. It's just beautifully written. So yes, if you read this short story collection, let me know what you think about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until then, I'll see you guys till next time. Bye. At the end of these, I'll let y'all know the next short story collection that I'm going to be reading, and this one is a chunker. It's the collected stories of Edora Welty. I'll see you till then.